So we're going to make our way down to hands and knees. Now, if cat-cow on hands and knees does not work for you, you could do seated cow-cow. I'll demonstrate both. Because if your knees are really, really bothering you, you could always do the cat-cow just from a seated position like this, right? This is still cat-cow. So you can do it that way if you don't want to be on your knees, or if you're having wrist issues. If that is not an issue for you, but you want some cushioning, take some cushioning, and let's go ahead and set up for cat-cows. Now, the first thing I want you to do is pay attention to how your body feels in this position. So keep shifting around till you get something that already feels comfortable. Don't start off uncomfortable. When we engage our back body, our belly is going to go out a little bit. So feel those muscles in your back body, everybody. Feel them. Fill up the belly with breath. Got it? Now release the muscles in the back body. Just release them. Go back to neutral. Feel the muscles of your front body engage. Release the front body muscles, come back to neutral. In gentle somatic yoga, we are engaging muscles. Now I'm engaging the back, and you're disengaging. What we're doing is creating new brain to muscle connection, engaging muscles, disengage. When you disengage, are you still holding on to tension? Notice, work on releasing that tension. Engage the muscle one more time in the back. The belly fills up with air. Release it back to neutral. Engage all the front muscles, the belly, all of this. It's all being pulled in for a second. It's engaging. And then release. So one of the ways we work in gentle somatic yoga that can really help us release muscle tension is we tighten everything first, and then we release it. So I want you to tighten all the muscles of your front body as if you are like you're super tight. And then your only job is to slowly release one muscle at a time until you can push back to some version of child's pose. I want you to do this the slowest possible way possible. So I'm loosening up my arms. I'm loosening up my shoulders. I'm loosening up my upper back. I'm loosening my middle back, lower back. I'm letting one muscle go at a time until I get to a place where I don't feel any tension. Now, your head may not be on the ground. If it's not on the ground, you could stack your fists or make some sort of thing with a block. And I want you to be in a child's pose with no tension. Now, if this is bothering your low back, here's an adjustment you can make. You don't have to have your butt all the way down. You could be leaning more forward like this. Sometimes when people have low back issues, they don't want to round the lower back. But I want you to let it go. Let every muscle go and just soften. Are you softening your neck? Are you softening your shoulders? Are you softening the mid back? Are you softening the low back? I'm directing your attention to areas to help guide you to become aware and soften those areas. That's your only job. Soften each area of your back body and breathe. All right, let's make our way slowly out of this hands and knees position. Now, when you have a back issue, Downward dog can be a very, very nourishing pose. But if you have wrist issues, you might not want to do dog on the ground. So there's always a version called chair dog, wall dog, something like that. So I want to show you with my hands on the wall. So you can do a regular downward dog, but again, if you're having shoulder issues, this is a wonderful adjustment. So I just want to show you it on the wall, but those of you who don't need to, you can just go into whatever downward dog you want to do. So my hands are going to be on a wall or on a chair. And literally, I'm just walking away and lengthening my spine. And then you might want to walk toward the wall, or if you're in a regular dog, you go to the ground. And now I'm going the opposite way. So you walk away, you walk away, you walk away, you bend your knees, you lengthen your spine, don't go into pain, just stay within your range of motion. And then you could walk toward whatever you're doing if you're not doing the floor. And then just lifting up the chin a little bit. And just feeling the length. Don't drop the head back. All right. So, and there's a way, and you know what? There is a way to use a strap if you have a partner at home. And I'm going to bring Betty in just for a second. Betty, come here for a second. I'm just going to use you to demonstrate this. So if you have a strap and you have somebody with you, I'm going to hook this around Betty's lower waist and stand behind Betty. So now, Betty, can you go down into a regular dog? Take your time, bend your knees a lot, bend your knees a lot. Go, put your hands a little further out. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to lift her hips. Do you feel that stretch? Mm-hmm. So if you have somebody at home who's stronger or bigger than you, you can have them take a strap around your lower waist and give them a beautiful stretch like this. Okay, go ahead, gently. Take your time coming up. Yep, you got it? Okay, all right. The other way you could do this if you don't have someone that you can share this with. Thanks, Betty. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to tilt this a little bit. I have see what I have on my back, on my bed? I've got this thing. What do you call it? What is it called? A footboard? Is that a footboard? Yeah. You know, there's a headboard and a footboard. Well, mine happens to be able for me to hook up a strap to. Now, if you had a really good banister, you don't want to be on the, you can't be a door. It can't be a door handle, but if you have something you can hook a strap around, see how I've done it? I've hooked the strap around. So if you don't have anybody available to help you do this, you would do it yourself. I'm going to put the strap around my hips, and I'm going to lean forward and go into a dog like this. This is one of the most restorative poses if you have a low back issue. So if you either have somebody bigger than you who can help you with this, or you can hook it up to something that's sturdy, you can do this yourself. It's really good for the back. So just wanted to share that with you. That's something a chiropractor taught me that. So anyway, all right, let's come on into seated and get comfortable. Now, one of the things that can happen to people with low back issues is sitting with their legs in front can put strain on the low back. So the solution for that, and I'm going to sit sideways just for a second to show you, is to sit up on something. And the reason why you sit up on something is because when you're sitting right on the ground, if your knees are up in the air, you're rounding the low back. You can cause a lot of damage back here. If you're elevating, that puts your knees down, shifts your hips forward, and it gets your natural curve back in your back. Now, on the other hand, if some of you out there already have a big curve, you don't want to sit up on something because it'll over exaggerate. As we age, one of two things happens to our back. It either gets more like this, like, with the stomach out and like that, or it gets like that. And so you have to work with whatever is going on with your back.